Welcome to another episode of Aware Naari. And today I have with me Aruna Virappan. We met on Facebook, and I was
Yeah,
looking
that's right.
to discuss AI and IT and women in leadership. Someone who started their career from front end and back end software engineering and made it to leading a team of 40 plus engineers. The universe sent me Aruna. So I'm so glad I made that connect. She has worked for big names. She's worked for names like Amazon, DocuSign, Infosys, and led teams as well. So I would love for this episode to cover about women in leadership. And thank you and welcome to the podcast, Aruna.
Thank you so much, Priya. It's an honor to be here. I'm glad that I got in touch with you. I always wanted to use the mediums to reach out to women I can help in any possible way, and you're already doing that. I know the kind of work that you do. It's amazing. And the first day we connected, I felt synergy, and I was looking forward to this podcast, and I'm really excited. Let's get started.
Yes, thank you so much. So I will get right into it based on what we have discussed on talking points. My first question to you is about journey to tech leadership. So many women we know from, especially from Asia as well, are into IT sector. And how did your career evolve from being a front-end engineer to leading a team of 40 plus engineers? So what was your process there?
Oh, I started back in India. A majority of my time in India was working for Infosys. I spent 12 years there. I
Mm-hmm.
started as a software engineer and I became a tech lead. Then I became a technical architect and a senior architect, which is equivalent to the senior manager role here. So the roles could be a little bit different compared to what we have in US versus in India. The roles are very, very technical, even if you're leadership here. So I managed around a team of 60 there, multiple projects, and a lot of domains that I had dealt with. The growth was organic. Like if you do your job well, then you actually grow from one level to another.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a point of time you had to make a decision of whether you want to be a people leader or a technical architect, like IC role versus the people leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I made the choice of being technical in Infosys,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was a conscious decision because I love technology. At the same time, working with people, so
Mm-hmm.
there was a conflict that I was going through, but I chose technical architect.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, I was more closer to people than a people manager,
Mm-hmm.
because you're working alongside developers all the time from end to end of the development,
Mm-hmm.
and you're dealing with estimation, you're dealing with schedule changes, you're dealing with conflicts, you're talking to the on-site coordinator. So
Mm-hmm.
all of that. That role transition exactly the same way as a senior manager here for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working for Getty Images, I was doing consulting, I had worked for DocuSign as director. So all of that, it's pretty much the same. It's just a role change and the title change for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you're an IC here,
Mm-hmm.
changing to a people manager is very different because you're more focused on just being responsible for your own deliverables. If you're a junior engineer, your 70% of the time is in coding.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a tech lead, then you have probably 60% coding and 40% on managing other team members.
Mm-hmm.
But once you go to the principal level, then you're not even closer to coding. You're more into the architecting aspect where you're connecting with multiple teams and providing feedback and ensuring that they are coming up with the best design.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a clear distinction of people manager and technical. I see roles here. So people manager, as I'm currently now, I'm a group engineering manager at CH Robinson. I lead multiple teams.
Mm-hmm.
We are still close to technology. Let me make that clear. Very close to technology. I'm still part of technical design and reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But we focus on a lot of other aspects. We focus on product, we focus on process, mainly on process, and then people, and of course, the technology plays a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to double click on these three areas because I belong to product engineering organization. That's my forte. So you need to understand the product.
Mm-hmm.
What is that value you're delivering to the customer? What is the ROI for your own company? So
Mhm.
that is more important. Are you delivering the most valuable feature to the customer? So working closely with organizations like product helps you derive at that.
Mhm.
And it is not just product giving you the requirements, it is also the technical leaders giving the feedback, because there are a few aspects like technology
Mhm.
that product team is not aware of. So you can give them suggestions and they'll pick the options from you. So it's a very good collaborative effort between product and engineering.
Mhm.
And then the process. The process is always about doing things in a way that it's effective
Mhm.
and minimal waste.
Right.
So you constantly improve. You deliver and then get the feedback, and then you constantly improve. Oh, you changed a code, it went to production, and there was a high priority incident that was caused. How can we mitigate that? So it's a constant loop that you have in your development cycle. So process is very important.
Mhm.
And of course, people. I'm saying this last. It's not and it is not definitely not last in the item. It's that is where you're a people leader.
Mhm.
You're getting things done through a lot of people, and everybody is different. You need to understand their dynamics,
Mhm.
and you need to understand what motivates them,
Mhm.
what helps them grow.
Mhm.
So, and there are a lot of tough times in the company when after COVID, there was no financial growth in the company.
Mhm.
So there are times that we have had a lot of layoffs.
Mhm.
So just to go through that tough situation, it demoralizes the team. And how do you ensure the team stays motivated? And all of that plays a role.
Mhm.
So I felt I enjoyed both the roles. So
Mhm.
it was a really easy switch for me when I switched from IC to leadership. Hope that answered your question.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Product, process, and people. Product, definitely the technical side of things. So you started as a front-end engineer at that level, so you understand it like because you've done it, you've been there, you've done it, and then to grow from there, the skills that you start developing slowly. I'm hearing that a lot of process management in terms of understanding how to manage big, like a lot of organizational skills. I'm seeing it from soft skills perspective for someone who wants to be where you are and they haven't developed those skills yet. And then the people skill part of it, that's something I felt like mostly if you are in management role, yes, people management is a skill that you have to start developing conflict resolution, getting things done, working with different personalities, not taking things personally, keeping people motivated. Now that's something I feel that is these are the core skills that you have to develop if you haven't thought about them yet. So that's what I'm hearing in terms of skills that you need to be in the transition for that role, right?
Yes. So uh, as an engineer, you're part of all of this too. You have to work with product to ensure that you're delivering the right product,
Mm-hmm.
because they give you those requirements, and you can give them back the feedback if it doesn't align with what you're thinking in your mind. So it is a collaborative effort. So definitely the domain knowledge is very important. Many ICs think I need to be learning only the technology, that I need to know the programming language.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also very, very important to understand what domain, what product you're delivering, and putting yourself in the shoes of the customer is one of the most important things that differentiates an ordinary developer to an extraordinary developer,
Mm-hmm.
because they know what they're delivering and they empathize with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you empathize with the customer, what happens? You can think of all those situations that probably another developer is not thinking. So your code becomes robust. You're testing on all of these special cases that nobody has thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Probably you're providing an alternate design. Hey, what if this? What if that?
Mm-hmm.
That is why domain knowledge is very important. So whatever company you work for, whatever domain you work for, I work for communications, media, entertainment. Right now, I'm into supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the pain points of the customer,
Mm-hmm.
what problem we are trying to solve is very important. So that is one skill the engineers have to definitely hone themselves, not just the programming language. I'm
Right.
not going to be talking programming language because that's what everybody is thinking. So they're all on top of it. They're
Right.
coding and GitHub and all of that.
Right.
And even though the soft skills you were talking about is extremely important for people leaders, it is also important for ICs. I know they're spending most of their time sitting in front of their laptop and trying to
Mm-hmm.
code. They're not talking to people as much as people leaders,
Right.
but communication skills will take them way up in the ladder because you have an idea, you have that skill to communicate and present it in a way that everybody is able to understand and empathize and make it into an action. Yes.
Yes, that is very true. So I was hearing when you were talking about the domain knowledge that combine it with problem solving because the
Yeah.
more open you are to finding more than one solution, the more resilient. And then resilience is also a good soft skill to have. Is
Yeah.
not overwhelmed and bogged down by change or by things when things are not working. To be more resilient and to keep working, knowing this is part of the job. This happens, things break down, and our job is to find solutions and keep moving things forward. So I also feel that from an individual contributor level to a management level, the transition requires more from shifting mindset from more operational way of doing things to more strategic way of doing things. Management roles get more strategic. It's more about what more can we do, how can we improve things, how can we constantly work on a path of expansion. But when you are an individual contributor role, it kind of, you are more worried about, it's not, I would not call it task oriented, but more operational and getting things done and then working on that. So you're not thinking about strategy and all of that, so it doesn't come naturally when you're stepping into from an individual contributor to a management role. But having an understanding that that's part of the new role is to have that strategic mindset of expansion and networking and understanding things. I think that's where the growth is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, usually the strategies come from way up in the ladder. CEO executives, they kind of align the businesses based on the research and market trends that
Right.
they come up with. And then it trickles down. Yes, you're right about the as it goes down, the strategic to the tactical aspects. That's where the focus is.
Right.
But there are a few cases where the things have been bottom up too. Because, for example, an engineer in a hackathon, if they come up with a great idea that can be sent up to the top and that can be implemented too. But it's mostly top down. Yes.
Right. So that's very good understanding. And moving on